Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025 Part 1, and this is going to be battle number 29. Almost 100% through day number 2. I feel like we've been uploading this for so long that you guys have only seen this team like a gazillion times. But we're going to come in here with our Zebstrika and our Amoonguss. Our opponent has a Talonflame and a Glimmora. Now, of course, in this situation here, we do have the option of either going for the high horsepower into Glimmora or the Supercell Slam into the Talonflame. Now, obviously, when you have an Amoonguss, there's pretty much only one option there for you. And, of course, you know, you're always going to go for those redirections and try to redirect all moves into the Amoonguss. Now, our opponent here, of course, with the Glimmora, goes in for the Terrestrialization to Grass. Now, that makes a lot of sense, considering the fact that the high horsepower and the fact that the Glimmora is a poison type. That would have actually done a crazy amount of damage. However, here we go. We're going to go in for the Terrestrialization of our Amoonguss, and we are now a water type. Probably not the best situation here. I'm really hoping that the Glimmora does not happen to have a Tera Blast. But we're going to go for the Rage Powder here. Of course, we want to redirect all moves into the Amoonguss. And with the Talonflame, they've gone for the Brave Bird, and of course our Amoonguss takes that like a pro. Now, of course, here we go with the Supercell Slam. Supercell Slam hitting into the Talonflame, and that is picking up a one-hit knockout. Thankfully, with that Brave Bird, it did a little bit of chip damage there, and that actually helped us out a little bit. The Glimmora, of course, going for the Meteor Beam. That seems to be a very common theme across a lot of Glimmoras. Personally, I like going through and setting up any kind of entry hazards and stuff like that. But here we go, Power Herb activated, and Meteor Beam is coming into the Zebstrika. Now, you're probably wondering if you guys are new to Pokemon battling or, you know, very inexperienced. If you do go for the Rage Powder with the Amoonguss, of course, Grass-type Pokemon and Pokemon with the safety goggles, I think it is, they don't get redirected with the Rage Powder. So, anyways, we come in with our Tauros, our Firebred Tauros, and of course there is the Dondozo coming in. Now, Dondozo, I don't remember what this guy had for a full 6 team, but I'm pretty sure Dondozo is not really too far away from Tetsugiri's. Okay, we're going to lock into our moves here and try to do the best that we can. But Dondozo is a very difficult Pokemon. Luckily for us, they actually withdraw the Dondozo and come in with Tatsugiri. The Thunderstruck? Okay, that's kind of strange, but didn't know that was a thing. But here we go with the Raging Bull. That's going to go into the Glimmora. That's going to do a crazy amount of damage. However, that is also going to set up some Toxic Debris, which that is an entry hazard. Toxic Debris, of course, is going to poison any Pokemon that comes in that's actually onto the ground. Flying-type Pokemon, Levitate Pokemon, and stuff like that are not really effective. Luckily for us, we actually do have Spore onto our Amoonguss, and we do put the Tatsugiri to sleep, so that's going to help us out in the back end if we can get this Dondozo out of here. Because you know that's exactly what's coming in. Dondozo, the Worn Out, comes in. Yes, they are very worn out. You guys can fight me on that. I'm absolutely disgusted with Dondozo, to be honest with you. I absolutely despise Dondozo and Tatsugiri. I wish this was never a thing, but it is. But we basically would have to try to do a clear Smog at some point and try to get these stats taken out. Basically, everything gets raised by about 1.5 to 2 because of the stat raises. We're going to go in for the attack here. We're basically going to see an Earthquake coming from the Dondozo. Tatsugiri avoids, obviously, because he's inside the Dondozo, and Amoonguss and Tauros get hit quite drastically. Amoonguss, of course, is going to regain some health there based on the Citrus Berry. And, of course, we're going to go in for the Rock Slide. Now, I was kind of hoping to be able to flinch in some scenarios because, obviously, we want to clear Smog. However, we realized that the Dondozo was actually faster than the Tauros. Luckily for us, we actually do a clear Smog. We take away all of the stat changes, and Dondozo actually gets a little bit of lefties there. So now we're actually going to go for the Spore. We're going to try to put that Dondozo to sleep. And then, of course, we're also going to go in for the Close Combat into the Dondozo to actually do some damage. However, we do drop some stats onto our Tauros. We drop our defensive and our special defense stats. It's going to go for the Order Up. That does absolutely nothing at this point, but it does raise his attack stat back up. We go for the Spore, and the Spore has now put the Dondozo to sleep. So not only do we have 2 Pokemon on the opposing side asleep, but we now have a way to do some damage off onto this Dondozo. So a little bit of leftovers there onto the Dondozo, bringing back a little bit of HP. And then, of course, we're also going to lock in with the Close Combat. Now, Close Combat, of course, does a mass amount of damage to the Dondozo. We are dropping our stats quite fast here, actually. Really glad that Dondozo did not wake up. And then, of course, here we go with the Sludge Bomb. That is going to be able to pick up the KO onto the Dondozo. Now, luckily for us, Tatsugiri is still asleep. Of course, when he's inside the Dondozo, he doesn't have the ability to have a turn. So we're going to go for the Rage Powder here, just in case it does manage to wake up. But then I thought to myself, you know what, we really should just try to do some damage off onto him there. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we backed up a little bit and decided to make some changes. So here's the Close Combat. That should do quite a bit of damage. It looks like he's lived by about like 1 HP, between 1 to 10 maybe. Here's the Sludge Bomb that's going to be able to pick up the KO, and that is going to be the game. So, good game to my opponent. If you guys enjoyed, give it a big thumbs up, post your comments down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.